In this lecture, we will talk about Python while loops. While loops is also known as a senator loops. Why it is a senator loop? Because we do not know the limit. We do not know in advance how many times this loop will end. For example, in contrast to it, we have for loop is a definite because we know in advance how many times it will run because we take it into condition. But while loop can, for example, we do not know how many times it runs. Python loops, Python has two primitive loop commands. We have while, we have for loops. We say with while loop we can execute a set of statements as long as the condition is true. We do not know in advance how many times it will run, but as long as the condition remains true, we can execute this statement. For example, I is equal to 1, the initial value of I is 1. Then we have while condition, while I is less than 6. While I is less than 6, do what? Print I, and then do what? I plus equal to 1. This we say, for example, the initial value of I is 1, then condition will be checked. Yes, the condition is true because 1 is less than 6 or 6 is greater than 1, then 1 will be printed, and this is the incrementation. We do not know in advance how many times it will run. That's why we use while as long as the condition remains true. In 6 because there is no equality, but if we put equality, 6 will also be printed, and here. So Python has two statements for loops. We have for and we have while. Remember to increment I. For example, if we do not increment it, it will run, for example, what? If the increment statement is not, it will run infinite times. It will be an infinite loops. It will be an infinite loop. Because, for example, if we check that, this is an infinite loop. Okay. The while loop while relevant variable to be read. In this, we need to define and accept which set to be 1. First, our variable should be declared that. Then we have, for example, the break statement. Whenever we encounter a break statement, it means go out of, for example, the loop. Even the condition is true, while the condition is true, then go out of that. We say, for example, because break means go out of it. For example, the example is exit the loop when I is 3. First initial value of I is 1. Then we have a while condition, while loop statement I less than 6. And then we say, for example, print what? Print I, whatever the I value should be printed. But if I say I value is 3, then do what? If I value is 3, break out of that loop. And do what? For example, we say that I plus equal to 1 because if it is not, then it will run. So it will print 1, 2, 3. And whatever, if it is 3, then the loop will be, for example, what? And the loop will be ended right here. 3 will be executed, printed, and then we say break out of the state. Continue statement. By the continue statement, we can stop the current iteration and go to the next iteration. For example, we say continue iteration if it is 3, continue to the next iteration. So in this we say, for example, 3 will not be, and then we say start from the next. For example, I value, for example, is 0 at the initial value. Then we have while loop, I is less than 6, and then we have, for example, I plus equal to 1 plus equal to 1. If we say I is equal to 3, then do what? Continue. Go to the next. Skip this, go to next. Then print what? Print I value. So we have 1, 2, 4. So 3 is skip. Because the condition is true, for continue, then skip the remaining part, go to the next iteration. The else statement. With else statement, we can run a block of code once when the condition no longer is true. For example, print a message when the condition is false. How? We put it inside else statement. I is 1, we have, for example, while I is less than 6, it's the